Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 21, Week 1. Today we're taking a look at the untitled GRaff team taking on the untitled Hollywood team. Last time, it was real bad looking for the GRaff team. Let's see what happens this time.
10 seconds remaining.
With me here, as always, is absolutely nobody. We shall see no Witch Doctor. We shall see no Clockwork. Manning out the Razor for Dusty. Do not want to see that Hollywood Venomancer again. I do question that as an instant respect ban because I do think it was just a particularly good Venomancer game more than Hollywood balling on it. Not that he did bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think, in a worth-looking Venomancer game, it might not be ban-worthy, to say the least. That's true, he would. And he would also have to leave basically immediately, because I'm doing your games next, and I never have the people who are actually in their games on co-commentating, because I always want people on commentary who also don't know, what happened in the games. So. Doing that series next, by the way. And yeah, once again, Largo ban. So the newest hero, once again, not going to be showing up here. Going to be pulling out the Undying, presumably for Hollywood.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team back.
Jakiro comes out in kind for the GRaff team. Between these two rather generic heroes, I rather favor the Jakiro as a first pick. The Undying, even a support, can kind of ruin Undying's game. The Jakiro has already been like that's already a pretty nasty thorn in his side. It's already somebody who messes with how he likes to operate in fights, already somebody who has some value against a tombstone.
10 seconds remaining.
It's harder to just eliminate Jakiro from the support line than it is the Undying. You're not crying if the Undying isn't going to have an awesome game. Even at his worst, he's still at least going to steal some strength. Even though the tombstone is pretty useless, that's a perk that you can't argue with sometimes. Will not be seeing the Viper again. They banned the Viper. You would have a good reason to do it. I mean, I know it balled last time, but again, do we know if that's going to happen in a less good-looking Viper game, in a game with more, CC and all that? In a game with the enemy team being less focused on magic damage until the point that Viper is actually genuinely tanky? I think we paused. Oh no, the timer's just glitched. Speaking of things that end with Lich, or rather, are Lich in their entirety, Lich coming out here. Decent support combo from the GRaff lineup. No surprises on what they're going to be, but I don't think you're ever going to have a necessarily bad game out of these two, and it's definitely a big inversion from the last game where their support line had no CC at all. This time you're bringing in the Ice Path and the Glare. Okay, we are paused for real now.
Dire team pick. Dire team pick.
Rubik, coming out next. Rubik's a fine pick here. I like the Rubik game. Looks very good. Even if the rest of this lineup on Radiant is really bad for Rubik, it's probably going to be alright for him. Because he has,
Radiant team.
Ice Path's a very good Rubik's skill to spell. Basically everything Lich has is fine for him. You don't really want the Frost Blast,
10 seconds remaining.
Even the Jakiro Dual Breath is a pretty good find. Gonna pick up the Quamp for the JD, one of his more played heroes. Especially if you take his solo queue account into factor. I did look at that JD. I saw.
Radiant team.
I did my homework. Mars, I think is a fine response here. Though I am kind of worried that you do have a few heroes that look like they can ruin an arena pretty quick.
5 seconds remaining.
You're going to have to need it. Notably, did not ban out the Wraith King, which will be absolutely fine for Hollywood to just pick again. That's the ultimate blue ball for an
5
arena.
seconds
It's still good to
remaining.
be able to get the arena out on the quap, but if you're dropping arena on like a Wraith King, life is bad.
Dire team back.
This guy, it's high risk, high reward. If you get speared to a tree in the arena, you're gonna die.
10 seconds remaining.
If you just get a raw dog arena
team
dropped on you,
back.
you can just take Q and walk out. So many ways it could lifesteal a game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Right now, he
Dire
is
team
able
back.
to hit Q and ignore pretty much everything. The only real trick they have is to just drop the arena on him, and
10
though it can
seconds
very
remaining.
easily
Radiant
change with the
team
last
back.
pick, I do kind of question if they're able to kill him before he's able to just hit Q and walk away. He's a pretty durable guy.
Dire team pick.
They're not really going to have damage until late enough he's going to be even tankier, so.
10 seconds remaining.
Predicting pause
5
3 here, which I
seconds
think
remaining.
is, it would be very surprising to not see pause 3 here. I think it's pause 3 here, pause 1 the other team. I guess hypothetically it could be pause 1 Marcy. No, it probably is actually, so it's going to be probably mid there. So we have our pause 1 matchup. I like the Marcy into Lifestealer matchup in a Void, but I feel like in teamfights, I feel like I said this Sunday as well, I feel like in teamfights it's going to be pretty rough. I feel like you've got a lot to run through. And you're just not that tanky, and having to deal with the Undying Strength Steal and the Quap Scream is going to be kind of rough. And now you got a guy who's going to be dropping crap all over the place and kind of ruining that for you as well.
10 seconds remaining.
This is a big deal of a pick
5
here, because I think
seconds
this is going to make or
remaining.
break. There are definitely heroes that you could pick up here. That the Clinks will be nice. Sadly, he's gone actually, but you know how it goes. There are definitely heroes you could pick up here that would be able to really scramble the strategy that this team has going on. But are they going to be able to do that?
You may now select your heroes.
Interesting. So I guess it's going to be Marcy mid, either that or they're about to switch lanes. I'm not 100% sure that Mars ever reconnected. Oh, okay, he did. I do notice a giant gap between right now and when the first highlight is, which scares me. Oh yeah, thank God almighty this didn't win the live game. Holy hell. Let's actually count that.
Choose your hero.
Yep. Okay. So we choose our hero. We finish loading, which is going to be awkward because I just loaded, so it's going to take a little while to do that. Come on, loading. You know you want to finish. Oh, I didn't just break the replay doing this. Randy is DMing me. Randy would do anything except commentate on Wednesdays. You never know. Okay, there we go. I think I just had to let it run for a second. I think it just didn't like to be paused. Okay. I think this is about 0 seconds, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knockout. 11. Okay, about 11 minutes later, plus a few minutes of being paused at the in pick phase. I do not envy the people who are here. I'm there for 20 minutes waiting to actually start the game.
30 seconds to battle.
Interesting, they've swapped pause 1 and 3 on the Hollywood teams. It's Luth on the Lifestealer. Season 12 classic right here. Dusty on the Pit Lords, though. Switching lanes. Yep, Marcy is your waifu. She might be mid this game, or she might be pause 1 and the Drow might be... I don't know. Let's see what she actually does. Dusty's going to say, 3 for 1. Yeah, it is going to be Marcy mid. I don't know if I like Marcy versus Quad mid. I feel like that is not going to be great for her. There's going to be a lot of casual just chip damage on the Marcy a lot of the time. I feel like she's not one of the melee heroes that's going to have that big of a... Yeah. 64 versus 60 right-click damage, so it's not that intense of a damage differential, and I don't think it's going to get that much better. Kind of awkward. And unfortunately for Dusty, who just swapped in here, this is one of those nightmare lanes for Pit Lord. This one is really bad. The good news is that even the worst Pit Lord lane in the history of the Earth, you can just kind of drop Q on the wave over and over and over again, and you're going to do at least okay, but you don't like to see this type of matchup as the Pit Lord. You don't like it at all. So, I think the forecast is, I like, well, JD hasn't been getting that many last hits so far, interestingly, but looks like things are going to be good for, Hollywood in the mid lane. Not so much the off. Have to see how it goes. Alright, let's see what just happened here. Oh, Line just got 100 to 0. They just dropped the tombstone on him, dropped one strength steal on him, and he's already like 98% dead. Goodbye, Mr. Lich. I assume he had already had some strength steal stacks on him. And that is a double kill. Okay, that's a bad sign. I was just talking about Hollywood team having a rough lane over here, but certainly going to more than make up for it. Chon versus Hollywood. Rubik versus Takiro. Winner is Rubik by just a hair. One more right click and he was dead as a doornail, but actually wins that trade, which is pretty good for him. Something they're going to really, really need here. Lifestealer. Taking some supplies off the courier. Radiant contesting this pull that the Undying is doing. Quad very low over here. Not really sure what happened exactly. She's bald! Okay, Marcy's just using the mana pool advantage from having that earlier bottle, I think. Quap is very quickly going to turn it around. And Dusty's going to die. Let's take a look at that. He's just going to be like hit twice in the multi-shot behind it. Yep. Just a very, very difficult lane for the Pit Lord to play, and Hollywood had at that point gone somewhere else to just TP in. I believe probably back to spawn after the last fight there. And Pit Lord cannot really survive this 1v2 without being positioning exceptionally carefully. It's not really happening there.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Oh, Undying just left the Grey with a bunch of crap on him, most notably boots. That's pretty annoying for him. Been a failed tombstone recently. Not failed necessarily, just a tombstone that didn't get any kills recently. Much more deadly game than the last one. The last one is like nobody was ever dying. This time I feel like I'm always a step behind when people are dying. Looking at this, another fight here with the supports in the bot lane. Mutual kill. Which is not great for the Jakiro, both for dying first and for the fact that nominally he should be on top of this lane. I think at this point what you really want to do is either, well, I mean, use these consumables, my amigo. You have 5 tangos, you ate 1, you have the fairy fire you didn't eat. At least use that. But use your items you have to try and put more pressure on the lane, or just stop taking these fights. But again, Hollywood unable to save the Pit Lord, and you're just going to get shot to death by the Jakiro and the Drow. And again, looking a little bit more like it feels like this matchup should. And let's see what's going on here mid. Marcy very aggressively going under the tower here. I think this is just a complete miscue. I don't think there was any upside to that, unfortunately. Feels very scary to go under tower against a Quap who has the blink leveled. And she had it off cooldown when Marcy went, so just the best thing she could have got for that is hit by the tower a lot, and the worst thing she could have got for it is what she got. Unfortunately for her. Dying has the tombstone up, has the Q up. I can tell you which one of those is more interesting. Lifestealer is just completely chatting on this lane. Just sitting in the creep wave, just casually right-clicking things at this juncture. Mars is positioning there like he was going to take advantage of the Lotus to have a go on the Lifestealer, but Lifestealer was just not in the right position to get anything done there. Sean better not take another fight and lose here against the Rubik. Eat your piece, Professor. There we go. She is going to get rooted here. Or going to get the root here, and then going to just barely survive with 70 HP. That's Pitlord Gaming for you. Hollywood is also going to break up the traffic here. Doesn't hurt things. Very low in this lane. You definitely want to see some regen coming in sooner than later. Hollywood a little ballsy trying to stick around this, especially when that was the last mana he had. I don't know if Sean even realized he got the dual breath off there. I think he actually might have pursued and gotten a kill if he had known. What can you do?
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it feels bad for Mars here. He's just kind of walking up the lane, getting nothing over and over. Dying, making a go on the code line here, but he has no mana. He has no real hope of getting this kill. Might have been a mistake for him to TP. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, he did. He TP'd to the tower instead of back home, which I think he really wanted to go home there. Marcy actually shows up to the lane here, looking for something to be done, but it's gonna be really sad for Mars. No, he does actually get the tombstone, just barely. Kind of unfortunate. I feel like if Luth had, like, gone either way on that, if he had been a little faster, they would have saved the tombstone and still gotten the kill. If he just not gotten involved at all, no time wasted. No, he got a kill for it. So, again, can't be that mad.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Would like to see a little quicker draw on that, though. Sean looking to do some harass behind the lines here. Doesn't find much. Pretty lame for GRaff so far. He was over 10 last hits over the Pit Lord, and also 1-0-2. Now the Rubik's doing fine. The Rubik, frankly, is doing better in this lane than the Pit Lord is. He's 0-2-1 and kind of low on the last hits. Not doing great for the Mars either. This is a very typical LD2L offlane situation, I think, where both of the offlaners, I feel like, are having pretty bad games compared to their respective safe lanes. Lifesteal having 16 denies is kind of yikes, as the kids say. JD, ambling up the lane here. They do have Tombstone and the Open Wounds, and that is well enough to just get the double here. Not necessarily, I don't think the ult there on Lifestealer's part was strictly necessary, but hey, they got the kill. JD has the power treads, has gotten himself some raindrops. It's also about 10 last hits up compared to the opposing mid. And about a level. See, it looks like mid went pretty much as it would in my head. Just did not really pan out for old Marcy here. Ooh. Actually does get a quick little sneaky kill there. Just kills the Queen of Pain there in the time that she gets a little stun. So, JD definitely does need to keep an eye on the old HP bar there, not go out when he's too low. See net worth really quick. Nice striped array. The safe laners way ahead here. Luth on top, Luth on the Lifestealer on top, followed quickly by GRaff on the Drow, about a 600 gold difference. A grand separates him from the Quab, who probably had a little more than that until just now. Quab and the Mars are about on pace with each other. Then you've got the Marcy, and then you've got poor Pit Lord, who is not having a great day. Four on one on Lifestealer, or not on Lifestealer, on the Undying over here, who is going to quickly respond just with that trade. All things said, not the biggest kill in the world. Still a kill. And mid T1 is just going to go down really quick. Good luck, anyone's true. Young Master almost dies here. I'm a little surprised Rubik didn't throw more at that. I think one telekinesis and that dude is history. But does put the fear of God in him at the very least. Ah, Mars tried to deny the last hit on the banner creep, and banner creep blew the tower shot. Unfortunate for Mars. Sent the support out of the safe lane here. Lexio is definitely still laning. GRaff smells what's in the water, doesn't like what he smells, just immediately runs to that GG jungle. Sean says, it can't be that bad, I'm going to take a look. And explodes. Something of a stack here in the Dire's little former site of the evil GameCube.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's gonna give some reprieve to the Pit Lord, who is still notably kind of behind. Or at least is all in on the Q here. So there's that.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Both respective tier 1s gonna go down. They're gonna find Lifestealer atop though. This is a pretty big deal, and they're kind of finding, yeah, the Quap going down too. Very slow reaction from the Dire to try and save the Lifestealer. Kind of lose-lose there. as all three cores end up conga lining and going down in quick succession. Good Marvarina. Good scenario. Is not going to save the tier 1 bot for them, but I don't think they care that much. That is a just shy of 2k gold net worth swing. Has put them into the driver's seat, has put the Radiant in the gold lead right now. Not by much, but I think it's the first time in either series they've been there.
I'll take that.
At least for any real amount of time, anyway.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Game slowing down a bit here. It's hard to say exactly who that favors in a game like this. I'd say both teams have fairly comparable scaling. If I had to really stretch it, I guess I would say the Radiant will do it in the end, but it will take a very, very, very long time to get there, and I don't think it'll ever be by that much. I think it will be feasible for the Radiant to lose a team fight even if the game goes 200 minutes. You know, they will have the advantage. Lifestealer going for the Radiance here. There is one guy who is definitely going to be happy that the game is slowing down. It is Lifestealer who's going to pick himself up a nice Radiance. Trow, conversely, does not appear to be going any kind of quick farming item. It appears to be going straight for Aghanim's Scepter. Which, you know, make no mistake, this is a very good Ags game, but like, am I crazy? Is that what she's doing? Yeah, it is. She is going for quick Ags.
Radiant are scanning.
Quap, scouting out this little push here. Dusty drops the portal. Kind of gets into the wrong spot. They were not running straight down the lane. It turns out they were running through the jungle. They're going to take the Lich. It's going to be a lot to get them. And they're going to also lose the Undying at mid. So kind of awkward. Probably really more of a win for the Radiant, who used a lot less resources to get that one kill. Though this is pretty big if they can get it.
Worthy tribute.
They do not get nothing. Again, the Dire uses some more skills on this. Which game is this? This is GRaff and Hollywood Game 2. So your game is still a while yet to come. Jeez, I thought you would get here later than this. I'm looking at the Drow here, but she doesn't actually have any mana to do anything about this. Very quick reaction time on the Drow. GRaff is, not GRaff, JD is kind of hunting for this, but again, no mana at all, and no ult makes this kind of very prospect. Is going to ultimately make the decision to get out. I think I mentioned the Lifestealer Radiance, but if I didn't, Radiance on Lifestealer, it's going to accelerate his farm quite a bit. Again, especially compared to the Drow Ranger, who's going for the Ags here, is going to need to get kills to feed that thing, basically. You can definitely do this, but just, I mean, I guess it is definitely farm. The bursting arrows do definitely get you farm. There's no doubt about that. It's just a lot of money to get in there, and not that helpful, you know, building itself. I find JD here. Just get rid of him. Let's actually take a look at this. Take a look at more than 1 second of that. It's just caught by the Jakiro, gets caught by the Marcy. Oh, gets stunned at the edge of the Macropyre and melts. And then Marcy and Jakiro high five. So next after this is Watkins versus Wild Daddy. And then we're finally going to have Cryptic reverse the flow, for the record. Oh.
Haste.
That gets haste. JD finds Jakiro, gets rid of him instantly. Tries to TP out, the Jakiro tries to TP out, does not quite make it. Going to drop a smoke on the Quap to get out of here. To find Undying here in the triangle. The kill on Undying is pretty easy. The kill on the rest of the team, not so much. They're gonna lose the Lich in the attempt. They're gonna maybe lose the Marcy in this attempt. They're gonna lose the Yep, Marcy down. That's pretty big. If this kill goes, okay, that's pretty bad news. 4 for 1, 4 for 2, 4 for 2. Yep, 4 for 2. 4 for 2. That's still a 1.5K net worth swing. Most of the money going onto the Jakiro. Actually gets that last kill. Gets tipped by Lime for his good work. And one of the few unironic tips you will ever see. Lore going for the Crimson Guard here. Not the biggest fan of the Crimson Guard this game, TBH. I guess it works on the Marcy, actually, so it's fine. Never mind. I'm fine with the Crimson Guard here, TBH. Just not going to do anything with the Drow, because the Drow at this point, that hypothermia is going to be really what's going to be killing you in a lot of ways. And block does not do nothing much about that. Awkward tombstone, just a little too late. Marcy is going to try and fight into this. This is crazy talk. I mean, she's gonna get the Undying. But man, if she dies for it like that, it is super not worth it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Basically just facilitated a direct transfer of money from Undying to Lifestealer at her own expense, really. Meanwhile, Lich just gets evaporated. Everyone's kind of looking at GRaff, at least where GRaff is right now. I don't know if they're going to get him necessarily, but... I believe, by the way, at this point, Lifestealer has passed on the Drow. Or has passed up the Drow. Luth is going to steal this Wisdom. Shone is going to protest and die. Drow is gonna look at doing something about this, but unfortunately for Drow, while this is happening, losing some teammates down here. Oh man! Oh, rough stuff. Everyone once again goes on the Undying, and everyone once again is gonna take a spill for it. She didn't even get the Lifestealer. Not that that necessarily would have made things okay. It still probably would have been a bad trade for them overall, but geez. Starting to get pretty bad. The Quap and the Pit Lord have been struggling a bit this game. Crap had a great lane phase, hasn't been doing great since. The Pit Lord has been doing great since lane phase, but his lane phase was so bad that it didn't really matter that much. Marcy's courier.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
But now both of them are charging back up. They have both bypassed the Mars. They both bypassed the Marcy. Actually, even Undying has bypassed the Marcy. Marcy has definitely been playing, unfortunately, just a little too foolhardy, a little too... throwing a little too much caution to the wind, I think, in this game is the problem. There's just been in a lot of dangerous situations that have not necessarily been to her benefit. Taken a few nasty spills. Even at best, in a lot of cases, wasting some time. So it's not been going super awesome.
Radiant's
Makes me
middle
wonder if there
tower
was
is
some
under
weird
attack.
flex here, like this person was not originally anticipating on playing Marcy. There is one key weakness to this team. They really only have one way to actually get in a fight. That's with a Quap. Drow is definitely a hero that punishes you for having bad initiation. Pit Lord is a great follow-up to an initiation. He's not great at doing it himself. And it certainly doesn't help when he gets surrounded by everybody. I was going to say, nice passive Crimson Guard. They're going to kill Marcy during this at top, by the way. That would be really funny if he clipped Mars like that. Sadly, Mars has a Blink Dagger, was not put on cooldown. They are going to be able to kill Dusty. It is a 1-for-1 trade. Marcy for the Pit Lord. At this point, that's actually to the Radiant's benefit. Marcy, lower net worth there. No streak like the Pit Lord had. Okay, well, that's not really going to matter at all. They just get a free kill on the Mars here. Oh, I love that counter ice path, but they do not put anything in the arena to soak up the damage on poor Queen of Pain. She just kind of gets eliminated. Shakiro melts of Radiance damage. Looking bad for Drow Ranger. Good spear by the Mars, but Mars just so low himself. He's actually kind of in danger. Okay, never mind. He blinked out. I was going to say kind of in danger of also melting to the Radiance, but overall, that's 1 for 3. Not what you really want to see. About a grand gold swing towards the Dire. A lot of XP for the Lifestealer, while the Radiant kind of distributed evenly among 2 cores and support as well. Look at the hero level. Yeah, the Lifestealer leading by a pretty considerable margin. 3 levels up from the 2nd place tie. Mars, lower level, 2 levels lower than the Undying right now. Yo, what's up on Carrying Stone? Jeez, I was starting to think people forgot how to type in here. Drow, taking a look at things.
What a bounty!
Dire, kind of pulling back, slowing the game down. Lifestealer's and some creeps, looking to get AC. Not really that close yet. Undying is getting something with an Ogre Club. I don't know what's on his couriers, it's hard to tell right now. Nothing, okay. I'm getting something with this Ogre Club. Oh, looks like Echo Saber, which is interesting. Yeah, he's going straight for Harpoon. Alright, that's a very ballsy Undying item. Does he have the... yeah, he does, okay. So he does have the trait that makes that make some more sense at least. Cooperating standard SNK Blade Mail. Drow has followed up her eggs with a Mantis style. Has not really found the money for anything since. Dire going to take a quick visit to old Mr. Roshan. And I mean a very quick visit. This is going to be very fast. Somebody knows the trick of popping Roche's thing, so Lifestealer can get open wounds on it, which is a very good skill to get on Roche. Quap picks up the Aegis. Definitely the smart play. Feels like she's the most vulnerable of the core trio right now. Feels like it's very hard to kill the Pit Lord in the Lifesteal at this rate. Not that hard to get rid of the Quap, so I think might have been better for the Lifesteal to stay in the Quap there, but whatever. Sean tanks the gank. T2 mid goes down while Marcy takes out T1 bot. Dire's T1 bot. Radiant is doing this the right way. They don't really want to fight yet, so while they don't really want to fight while they're just skirmishing, they're not going to have Marcy here, who has nothing to offer in a skirmish except running around in a circle. Lichult is going to doom the Pit Lord. He's going to go down. He's a little overeager staying there. Isn't gonna like what happens to him. Oh no! Okay, Hollywood is going to take this arcane rune. I like what results, but Hollywood standing on a dangerous arcane rune is not going to lose the arcane rune, but is going to lose his life, which is really not super worth it right now, unfortunately.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They only just now took down T1 mid. Wow, yeah, very behind on these objectives. Kind of surprising that such a good pushing team. They're not really willing to let this go. I'm gonna try and pop in here. Luth is gonna go haywire on fake Drow Ranger. It's nothing more than that. So got AC at this point. Tombstone on Nada. Radiant are already heading for the hills. They're going to get the Quappled out. But yeah, they really can't stop Radiant from literally just running all the way back to D3s. All they're going to get for it is Code Line, which isn't really that big of a deal. But it's not really as bad of a position as it looks. They still have Aegis for 2 minutes. This tower here is very nearly dead. I think they're lacking. It really feels like they'd be missing is the lifesteal world. That's it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dusty's going to take the Pit Lord Express to bot. Giving up on the grand ideal of going to the mid T3. I wonder if Dusty noticed this tower has 300 HP. And they made that decision. Smoke here, 5-man smoke. Minute 30 left in the Aegis. Running towards where Mars is. Not exactly who you want. You really want the Drow, but that is absolutely impossible. Drow is not going to let you see her at this point. Dire scan out the secret shop, find Nada. They're still running the right way, though. Dire's doing a good job of not actually staying in the lane at all, but his courier. Oh no, his courier. Just giving him away. Okay, maybe don't do that though, yeah. Oh no, Luth griefed his team. Oh no, if he had just let the courier live and just went forward there. Oh man, that kinda sucks, but what are you gonna do? Well, smoke gank on courier. Is also going to basically time out the Aegis. 30 seconds left on it, so there's definitely nothing happening here. Aghanim Scepter on the Pit Lord. They're going to have very large pits. Going to actually chase down Mars here. They're determined to get this guy. I think the... Who? What? Was that him? It was him. Yeah, pro tip, if you're in the... Oh, well, Dusty didn't make it. If you're in the Pit Lord pit, you will just be stunned again the moment you land. If something else drops on you, then you heals. Like, if you're in the Pit Lord pit and you see, like, you know, it's very obvious stun or silence coming, then you hit that button. But if you're just in the pit, just let it happen to you. It's much less time that way. Because really, the pit stun, not that long.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire once again has Radiant pressed into their base here, but can't actually, or at least doesn't want to actually go in on the uphill. Tower still very low here. Still kind of shocked that it feels like nobody on the Dire has noticed, because I feel like if they had noticed, and surely they would have sent Rubik up here to like hit it twice or something, you know. Kind of an interesting thing to miss. Oh, they missed the silence on the Undying. Not like it matters. The spear is all they really need. The Yules just, unfortunately for him, kind of tease up the, okay. Marcy is going to be able to get out of this. Invisibility is invincibility. I feel like at this point, trying to react to the split pushes with the Pit Lord ult is giving you pretty mixed results. I think the real ideal thing to do with it is, since you have the Ag, just use it to assist a push. Just drop it behind the T3s, because it, you know, it has the big pit around the portals. It does not give you the minions, which would be even better, but just let them try and push themselves. You drop the pit behind the T3 to make actually defending it pretty sketchy. Gonna take a very quick torment here. Tormentor here. The GRaff team has learned their lesson from last time, is not going to come contest this, so Rubik is just going to get a free shard for himself here, which is definitely not a bad thing to have. Nice answer to some of the things that Radiant has if he is not the one being caught by them. Most notably, a way you can waste a few seconds of the Lich Ult if it's just on one target in the Spire. BKB on the mark, so now he can walk out of his own arena. Dire takes the double shrines. Boy, this game is exciting.
Dire are scanning.
I scan out where Drow is exactly, but drop the pit on the wrong side of her. She is just going to run home. Interesting to see Pit Lord running right, even though at this point I think it's been pretty well established. Every time something bad happens to Drow, she right-clicks a fountain. Just, I think at this point, Dire thinks all that they're shy of to go uphill and just finish the job is just one pick. So yeah, true that is. The answer's not really, because the two most consequential picks they have on the Radiant both have buyback. Jakiro does too. $200 HP on this tower even now. Roche is back. He's gonna roar. Radiant's gonna know what's going on. They're going to smoke out, but this is a Lifestealer team. You're not getting there fast enough to actually have a fight here. I'm gonna put the Aegis on Lifestealer this time. I don't think I agree with that necessarily, but going to find the Lich. Oh, steal the Chain Frost, send it back at him, so he's the only one who dies with it. Lifestealer ult accomplishes nada, but he has the Axe at this point, so it's fine. Probably gonna see the last 200 damage on this tower, maybe? Yep, after long last. At long last, somebody finally puts that thing out of its misery. Lifestealer just face tanks here to beat the barracks. Comes from the Quap thinking maybe something's gonna happen. It's pretty unlikely. Or Mars is gonna make something happen here. He's gonna drop the arena. He's not going to get Quap. Quap is just gonna completely be fine here. Lifestealer is just gonna get Q and walk out of it and kill the Marcy. No, it is gonna cost him his first life. Second, Rubik Chain Frost is gonna hit a creep wave for the most part, but is gonna get rid of the Jakiro. At the very least. There's a lot to the Drow as well, which is a pretty big deal. And actually the Mars kind of sticks it in and dives. Very big chain frost there for Hollywood, who's saying one of his favorite binds in all chat. As legions of Radiant heroes buy back and make me realize that I stopped the increased playback speed too early. Lifestealer takes T3 bot in the meantime. Lord actually did drop in the net worth chart there. The Mars got a lot of money in the last few minutes, but I think probably not from the last few minutes. I think Mars got a lot of money from the time period where they're just kind of looking for the picks over and over, not getting them. Jesus Christ, it had to happen like right when I needed to scratch my nose. Are we seeing a player as paused the game? That's not true. It wasn't really there. So Quap goes in, which is a little crazy, but another Chain Frost comes out of Rubik. Letting that Chain Frost go really bad. Counterattack Chain Frost from the Lich is going to get rid of the Quap, but a huge ult in the middle of that Chain Frost is going to melt everyone. Drow really the only survivor, and she's just stuck in the middle of hell. She's going to go down. This looks very over. No buybacks left. Yep, GRaff calls the G's. We're going home. I think there was some good strategic decisions. I don't know, I'm going to be unfair. I'm going to say there's some good tactical decisions on the GRaff team. I think the biggest issue with this game, the reason this went as bad as it did, the Marcy kind of failed to launch. The Marcy mid didn't really win the lane. Spent a lot of the early game just kind of going out and getting killed a lot. Didn't look great. Did not look great out there, unfortunately, for Young Hero. Or, sorry, Young Master. Young Hero is a Neo Turf Masters. Yeah. The Marcy didn't look awesome. I think that was really just almost in itself the long and short of it. I felt like that just had such a negative impact on their game plan. Just hurt their team fight in the early game, and that was a really important part because, you know, the early game was a part where, you know, the Quap and the Pit Lord didn't really have any good answers to being in the arena, and really the Quap never even did per se. It's just the Pit Lord, Crimson Guard, plus the increased mobility on the support line on the Lifestealer. You know, they were able to bail her out a lot more effectively. They never really got a pen on the Lifestealer. They killed him once. It's pretty good. And he was never really sweating it ever again. An unfortunate situation. Also, the Rubik ults at the end of the game, the Rubik Lich ults, were really devastating. I think that's the two biggest things here. Just gotta use like the Frost Armor immediately after you drop that ult as a Lich, I think, if you're in this scenario. What can you do? If you or somebody you know want to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into the season, but it's not too late to stand in. We need plenty of stand-ins. In-houses are still happening. Fun things are still happening. And we will see you next time.